having a relationship with God and shaming other people for returning to God, shouldn't you be happy? Shouldn't you be happy that like, oh, Balisa has found God. Balisa has, you know, the other video was trending that she was cheating, and the other videos where she was saying these type of things about men and these and if you see this video and you're like, Balisa is talking about God, Balisa is sharing her experience with spiritual warfare, Balisa is talking about prayer, Balisa is talking about journaling, should that not make you feel happy as someone who is a Christian? Hey guys, welcome to the channel. Thank you so much for joining me. If you have no idea who I am, my name is Balisa, and as you can see from the title of the video, today we're going to be talking about spiritual warfare, which is something I feel like I am equipped to talk about right now because I have had a time this year. This year has been, it's been a time, I'm telling you. It's been a lot. So anyway, let's get into it. There's a video that I want to talk about that someone shared on TikTok, and the person was asking ChatGPT. I'm not really sure about the source of the question or where the content comes from, to be honest with you, because it was trending for a while. A lot of people shared it because anyway, so I think this young lady asked, if you were Satan and you wanted to stop a young woman from meeting her potential and fulfilling her life's purpose, how would you do it? And there's a few things that ChatGPT said. You know, I'm going to try to, I don't know if I should summarize, but let me just go ahead and read everything. If I were to consider the question from the perspective of Satan as a malevolent force intent on preventing someone from fulfilling their purpose, the strategy, where's my English going all of a sudden because I'm reading on camera? The strategy might revolve around subtle and corrosive tactics, aiming to erode her confidence, clarity, and sense of direction over time. Here are some potential methods. I just want to say that, like, I've been trying to, like, record this video for this entire afternoon, and I don't know what was going on. I was losing my train of thought. I was feeling confused. I was just like, oh my God, what am I saying? And I was just like, okay, cool, maybe I'm not supposed to take a video today. Let me just stop, let me not do it. And I prayed about it. I'm like, God, like, there's a reason why I have this YouTube channel. There's a reason why I want to share these things that I want to share. There's things that I want to talk about. Any distractions, anything that wants to, like, evade me from the message, whatever, I prayed against it. So yeah, that's why I'm saying that, like, talking about this and everything that I've been going through this year, yes. So anyway, and then number one, it's create self-doubt. Constantly feed her thoughts of inadequacy, making her question her worth, intelligence, and abilities. This would make her hesitant to pursue her goals or take necessary risks. So I'm going to keep stopping in between these things and speaking about my personal experiences with this particular spiritual warfare, because I've been going through it. I think one of the things is, this year I lost a lot of my passion. I lost my passion for creating content on this channel. I lost my passion for my studies. I lost my passion for a lot of, like, my business ideas that I had. Like, I was just very confused. Like, I was just like, I don't know if I want to do this anymore. I don't know if I want to do that. You know what? Like, I was very, like, I was just not passionate. Like, I was losing my focus and my drive towards so many things that I had, like, you know, I wanted to achieve. So definitely I have been in the midst of a spiritual warfare. And this, when I saw this on TikTok, I was like, oh my God, because a lot of the times we think that, you know, I think the smartest thing that the devil does is that he masks his thoughts with yours. Like, he makes you think that, oh no, maybe I'm just going through something, maybe this is not what I want to do, maybe and all of those thoughts don't even come from you. They're coming from, right? So yeah, moving on to the next thing, distractions and temptations. Surround her with distractions, both pleasurable and stressful. These could be unproductive relationships, shallow pursuits, or even a constant barrage of digital noise, this would keep her from focusing on her deeper purpose. You see, this is another thing. A lot of us are busy. A lot of us are too busy to focus on what we really want to focus on. A lot of us are quite distracted. And within the distraction, it's like day by day, like you're not seeing how your time is just going and your plans are not manifesting. You're not making time for God. You're not making time for your family. You're not making time for anything because you're so busy. You're on your phone. You're on this. You're doing that. You're doing this. You're constantly distracted. You're constantly tempted. You want to you know, you've been saying, oh no, God, I want to fast. I want to do this digital detox. I want to do this. I want to do that. But there's so much things that you feel like you're going to miss out on. And somebody's phoning you. Now you can't miss out, because if you miss out, like, what is your life, you know? There are so many of those things. I definitely have been in the midst of that, where I've been busy for so long, but what am I busy with? What have I been doing? I'm not going to be able to tell you. After a while, you just don't even see what you've been doing with your time, but you constantly feel like you're exhausted, and you constantly feel like there's something going on with your life, but you don't really know what it is when you take time to reflect. The next thing is instill fear. Heighten her fears of failure, rejection, or judgment, making her overly cautious. Ooh. Fear could paralyze her from taking meaningful action, or making her settle for less than what she's capable of. Well, the other day I was praying, and when I was praying, like at 3 a.m., right? I woke up at 3 a.m., I started praying. And for some reason, every time I wake up at 3 a.m. and pray, there are prayers that I didn't even know were in my heart. And I started praying about so many things. I'm not going to share a lot of like the personal stuff, but I was just like, God, this is. And these were things that I didn't even know I wanted. I didn't even know the scope of the things that I wanted, because again, I was so distracted by other things. Another thing, I was so comfortable in my little bubble, because, you know, I'm scared of making even this channel bigger. When I started this channel, I had so many like I had a lot of ambitions about it. I wanted to do a podcast. I wanted to maybe one day do a talk show. I wanted to do this. I wanted to do that. All these other things. I wanted to do book reviews and all these things. But now, this fear of being perceived, and this fear of being judged, and this fear of being wrong, and this fear of this, and there's certain things that I would want to share, but I'd be like, oh my gosh, but I'm scared because I'm not perfect. I'm not worthy to put out this type of message. I'm not worthy to talk about, you know, certain things in spirituality. I'm not worthy to do that. And that's exactly you operating from a place of fear. When I was journaling the other day, I was like, God, I don't want to mold my life in a way that makes it convenient for fear. A lot of us are molding our lives and existing in a way where you are still saying, okay, I'm going to do this and do this, and everything must accommodate the fact that I'm afraid of this, and it must accommodate the fact that I'm scared of this, I'm scared of that. And you're molding your life in a way that accommodates fear, because you think, no, this is where I'm comfortable, you know. And the next thing, distort relationships. Poison the relation. Actually, I want to talk about, let me go back to this instilling fear thing, because now I just had a thought. I made a video where I was talking about going back to church, and I was talking about, it's called Why the Slay Queens Are Going Back to Church. I know it's a very maybe controversial title to use, but yeah. And I've realized that like a lot of people are seeing a lot of young women like myself who have maybe in the past said or done controversial things or whatever, returning to the church, returning to spirituality, to religion or whatever. And a lot of people are saying, yeah, now they're going back, yeah, they're doing this, nah. And it's so funny, because like I've seen how the shaming of that is so weird, because if that message is coming from people who are people who think that they're religious, that they're Christians, but they are using these people and saying that these people are returning to church now because, you know, the streets are cold, because I don't think that that's how you're supposed to be when you're someone who says that you are godly, or you have a relationship with God. Having a relationship with God and shaming other people for returning to God, shouldn't you be happy? Shouldn't you be happy that, like, oh, Balisa has found God. Balisa has, you know, the other video was trending that she was cheating, and the other videos where she was saying these type of things about men and these, da. And if you see this video and you're like, Balisa is talking about God, Balisa is sharing her experience with spiritual warfare, Balisa is talking about prayer, Balisa is talking about journaling, should that not make you feel happy as someone who is a Christian or someone who has a relationship with God, that people are coming back to God, people are returning to God? Shouldn't that make you happy? But anyway, again, we're using shame, we're instilling fear in people. People need to feel small. People shouldn't share their stories. People, you know, all these other things. Fear of judgment, fear making people cautious that actually I don't want to talk about this on my channel because people are going to say, suddenly I'm talking about these things. My love, ask yourself, anyway. Distort relationships. Poison the relationships she relies on for support, either by sowing seeds of distrust or encouraging toxic dynamics. Isolation or harmful social circles would make it harder for her to grow and flourish. Definitely. Again, what I'm saying about having, you know, with me, I have like a very good support system. I have really, really good friends. I have friends who I seek counsel from, whether it be spiritual relationships, whatever. I have a very solid group of friends, and also I have an amazing relationship with my mother where she knows everything. She knows my business that I don't be telling nobody. And I've seen how with a lot of people there's this thing of like isolating yourself and being like, no, you know, the more friends you have, the more this, the more blah blah blah, you mustn't trust people, you mustn't da, da, da. You cannot exist. You are not an island. You can't exist by yourself. You need people. Like, quite literally, you need people. I cannot imagine my life without the people that I have in my life, because I am not smart enough to be like going into this life with nobody, just myself. It can't be. So I'm going to tell you now, seek friends. Like, pray to God more than anything to give you the right circle, to give you the right relationships, and be able to communicate with people. You know, over the years I had this thing of cutting people off and blah blah blah, and I understand there are certain people, there are certain bridges that must burn. There are certain people who are not good for us, and people who undermine us, make us feel small, and all these other things. But essentially, relationships are not necessarily easy breezy. So if you have a good friend in your life and you can see that you guys are in a funny place, talk to your friend. You guys will give a man so many chances. The man will play right in your face. There's a video I saw the other day. This guy says, a woman will say a man is stupid, but the man was dribbling you. So is he really that stupid if he was dribbling you? Because when I get, but anyway, so yeah, you know, sowing seeds of distrust, encouraging toxic dynamics. These people that are party friends, people that, you know, they don't care. As long as gumnandi, that's the only time that they have time for you. As long as you get it, you are getting them into the VIP is the only time. I know I've had friends like that. The only time that they really care about you is when you're getting them into the VIP, or you're sitting there entertaining smang mang or whatever they can get from you. But really pray about having a really good social circle. Really, like, yeah, it's very important. Another point, promote a false sense of purpose. Convince her that she's following her life's purpose when in reality she's pursuing something shallow or materialistic that won't lead to true fulfillment. This could be done by encouraging her to equate success with external validation rather than internal fulfillment. Let me tell you something. I know all about this. I know all about this, because another thing is that we exist within something called mimetic desire. You think that I want this, I want this, I want that. Yeah, Smang Mang has this phone. Smang Mang has this shoe. Smang Mang traveled to wherever. I want that. Do you really want it, my love? Do you really? Do you really? Do you know what it even takes to get it? The thing is, a lot of us don't even care. A lot of young women are stuck in this thing where I don't care. As long as the Instagram pictures are banging, that's all I want. I just want the if that comes at the expense of my peace of mind, if that comes at the expense of my health, if that comes at the expense of anything, I don't care. As long as people feel like you know. And at the same time, you know that, like, in your heart, for example, with me, my life's dream has always been to be an author, has always been to write like a book about spirituality, a personal development book for Black women, to have this channel grow, to do these things. And if I'm just like, no, as long as I'm popular because I'm cute, that's fine. That is a false sense of purpose. I can't say to myself, I'm popular on TikTok, but I'm not saying the things that I really want to say. That's a false sense of purpose. Then the platform is null and void. I'm not doing anything. If I come on here and I make, I don't know, pointless content just to keep it going, just to be like, yeah, as long as people are watching ads and AdSense pays me a bit of money, then what? No. What is your purpose? What is, go back to the little girl, the inner child that wanted to do things, the inner child that was like, actually, what I want to do is this. I want to make this difference, or I want to break this curse in my family. This is what I want to do. This is the, go back to the drawing board and ask yourself those questions. Who are you? What do you want to do? What is your life's purpose? Okay, that is something that I've had to ask myself this year, when I could see Uti. Like, you don't know what's going on in your life. You need to go back to the drawing board, pray to God and say, God, please redirect me, please. And one thing I like to say in prayer is that, Lord, no matter what I do, whether I am kicking and screaming, redirect me, take me into your path. Whether I'm gonna say, hey, take me into that path. The next point, undermine faith or belief systems. Dismantle her connection to any spiritual or personal beliefs that provide her with a sense of direction and hope. This could lead to nihilism, apathy, or a sense of futility. Now, if I'm not the queen of undermining my belief systems, let me tell you, I am a very spiritual person. I'm a prayerful person and all these things. But like I said, this year rocked me. Specifically September. September rocked me. September rocked me to a point where I was asking, some people, I was like, are you sure that there's a God? Like, are you sure that God is real? Are you sure that when we pray this? Because I was going through it so much that I was just like, there's no way that I'm going through the stuff that I'm going through and there's a God. And the thing is, it wasn't even like really hectic things. It was just the loss of the feeling of purpose. I was just like existing and just living and floating and just like, okay, oh, okay, like I'm doing this. Like the stuff that used to fulfill me, it was just not fulfilling me anymore. And I think I'm so grateful for that, because it made me sit down and really draw back into myself and be like, really, what do I care for? Like, what is the thing? Because you're going to try to drink it away, to sex it away, to do this away, to buy it away, like that song Solange Cranes in the Sky. You're going to try to distract yourself from so many things, from the feeling inside of you that says, actually, I feel really empty. I missed everything that I thought that I wanted, and all these other fancy things, and the validation from these people and that. I still feel empty. It drew me back to be like, girl, what's going on? And I've been able now to rebuild my relationship with God and truly understand, because I think another thing is, I realized, oh my gosh, I realized that I'd opened up portals in my mind to things that were really terrible, from my consumption of alcohol, and also taking edibles and smoking weed. I'm gonna be honest with y'all, because I am not a perfect person. I will be honest with you. I realized that, you know what, this stuff that I'm doing, it's opening portals in my mind. And I thought, no, this is harmful. It's just it's just wine. It's just, and I'm not saying that I don't drink no more, but I'm just saying that I do it very consciously about my thoughts, especially with taking edibles, y'all. And if you know me personally, you know I like edibles. you know, I'm gonna be very vulnerable right now. So it was that type of thing where I was realizing that I'm opening portals in my mind, and I'm opening, and at first it seems like, oh, you know, there's so much information coming in where I'm thinking about things like, oh, what if this, da, 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 da. But also realizing that, like, it was every time that I'd open these portals in my mind, I was undermining the things that I believed in. I was undermining my faith, my relationship with God, because I would question so many things where everything that I believed in, I started to doubt it so much that I had to ask other people that, like, are you sure, we are going there because or you way, and I think it's healthy for you to have certain questions, because, you know, being somebody who, you know, you exercise your intellectual muscle and you question this, but when you're questioning things to a point where you genuinely feel like, you know, you have like an existential crisis, which is definitely what I went through in September. I went through like an existential crisis where I was just like, you know what, I don't even know what nothing means no more. Be careful with the portals that you open in your mind, you know. Be careful, because we're also in, you know, a time and a generation where we're very casual about our alcohol consumption and the things we do for recreation, and we're just like, no, I'm just gonna smoke a blunt because it's so cool, I'll be smoking, and you don't really know like the spiritual implications of that, because your body is essentially a vessel. You're a vessel, you know, and the more that your spirit is in its weakened state, the more it's easy for other entities to take over, and you don't even know who you are anymore. It's very difficult to differentiate between you and whatever is trying to, you know, infiltrate you and come in and act through you, right? Encourage comparison. Feel a constant comparison to others, making her feel she's always behind or not measuring up. This could sap her motivation and lead to feelings of inadequacy. Again, I went through this on the deepest level. On the deepest level, I would constantly compare myself to other people and be like, why is this easy for that person? Why is it not easy for me? Why is it easy for this person to do this? Why is this person comfortable in this space, but I am so uncomfortable in that space, you know? And I felt like I'm not measuring up, so does anything that I do even generally matter? Because now I feel like, you know, I'm comparing myself to Smang, and now that person is doing this and I'm not doing it, and every time I do. But the thing is, you don't even see the behind the scenes of some of the people that you look up to or you're inspired by. What I'm saying is, sometimes you don't see them talking themselves through what they're doing. You don't see them sitting with themselves and also crying about it, also feeling uncomfortable, also doubting themselves, also, you know, losing their train of thought. Because like I said, maybe you'll watch a video of mine and I think she's so confident, she's so well spoken when she, you know, that, and you don't know that like I have to gas myself up every time I make a video, because sometimes I'm just like, I don't know what the hell I'm talking about, I need to shut up, you know what I mean? And people, naturally, you will have that thing where you measure yourself or you compare yourself to other people or whatever. But let me tell you, as you are enough. Half job. The way you are enough. You are enough, especially for your purpose. There's actually a quote by Miles Monroe. I want to find it. Let me find it real quick. Miles Monroe on purpose. I love that quote so much. I don't know if I'm gonna find it, y'all, but basically the gist of the quote is that everything, your hair color, where you're born, your height, your brown eyes, your whatever, your everything that you are, God has created to align with your purpose. The way that you are is perfect for what God has brought you here to do. You know, that's basically the gist of what the quote was saying. I'm not gonna find it right now. When I tell you guys about spiritual warfare, did this camera not switch off at 25%, not even 10% or 5% battery life? It's at 25% and it's switched off. Tell me why. And I'm like, okay, we're back. We're back. We're back. If you guys don't believe like spiritual warfare, and you guys don't believe how there are certain messages that don't want to be put out there, but like there are energies and forces that do not want certain messages out there. I don't know what you're gonna believe, honey. But we were on this point. Physical and emotional exhaustion. Make her life filled with constant stress, exhaustion, or health issues, so that she's too drained to pursue her goals. Without the energy or emotional stability to focus, she'd struggle to find her true path. Okay. I'm going to be personal with this one. In April, actually this is when my spiral started. Around April, I found out that I had PCOS, right? And from there, I was just like really, yeah, it just like, it took a knock, right? I didn't really think that this was something that I was going to share, but I think I'm ready to share it, and yeah, I'm ready to share it. So I got diagnosed with PCOS, having been misdiagnosed for like a long time. You know, I used to feel a lot of pain and discomfort in a certain part, like area of my womb and blah blah blah. Long story short, it really like, it just knocked me. Like it knocked me, like I was, yeah. But let me tell you, in the midst of that, I did not want to medicate. That's number one, because I think I just felt sour about it. I was just like, why? First I was like, why me? Why is this happening? Blah, blah, blah. This is not fair. It's not fair. You know, especially as someone who wants to have children and wants to have her own family and all these things. I just really felt like this is not fair. Da, da, da. When I started medicating, my energy levels, like so many things improved. And I just need to say that don't take your health for granted. Don't go get checked out. Get your like, guys, don't take your health for granted. Again, we're living in a generation where we are drinkers and smokers, and you know, we're just like very casually whatever, we're having alcohol at breakfast with mimosas, bottomless this, we're just out there vibing. And yes, it's vibes, and yes, it's nice, but take care of your body. Take care of this. This is your temple. This is like the only one you have. What else? Which other one do you have that's spare? Maybe whatever. Maybe you've got a clone somewhere that's waiting with an extra body. But anyway, to be serious, you know, physical and emotional exhaustion, emotional bypassing as well, I think is a big thing for our generation. A lot of people don't want to face their emotions. They don't want to truly fully feel things and work through them and do the necessary shadow work and pray, you know, and talk to God about it. People are just like, nah, it doesn't matter, I don't care, get money, whatever, you know, whatever. Like, there's a lot of emotional bypassing. Deal with your emotions so things do not build up and build up and build up in your spirit, and you're going to be put into a situation where you are numbing. You're constantly numbing, you know. It's not good. Deal with the things that you're dealing with. And I just want to say that even when you're dealing with things, deal with them with a sober mind. Yes, it's not nice. Yes, it's not nice. It's the best solution sometimes that you think is the best solution is for you to like drink it away, smoke it away, party it away, do this away. Like all of these other things that we're chasing for that little high that we get to forget, it's okay, something hurt my feelings. Deal with your emotions. Deal with your emotions. Yeah. So in conclusion, it says these methods would work gradually, undermining her potential in subtle and layered ways, aiming to keep her stuck, distracted, or doubting herself, thereby preventing her from fulfilling her life's purpose. If you're going to take anything away from this video, it's that you have a purpose. No matter how small it is, no matter how insignificant you feel, you have a purpose in this world. And use your talent, use whatever. If your talent is speaking, like me, I think my talent is talking, you know. I'm very gifted with like making little quirky videos and all these other things. Like, that is a gift. Use that. Use yourself as a vessel. Pray to God and say, God, use me as a vessel. Whatever that I can do, use me as a vessel, you know. So yeah, thank you so much, you guys, for watching this video. It was weird, but let me tell you something. A person like me, baby, I could never fail. By the way, I take that from Kanyumbao. I love when she says a person like me could never fail. And I say that all the time to myself when I feel down, when I feel like, well, I'm like a person like me could never fail. Because within, you know, I use my stubbornness to push me through a lot of things, because if I was not this stubborn, I would just be, I don't know where I would be. But I'm stubborn in a way where I'm just like, nothing is going to like stop me and deter me from what I want to do. You can delay me maybe, but you cannot. You can delay me, you can distract me, but you can't fail me. You cannot fail me. A person like me could never fail, baby. You know, so do that. Pray, journal, focus on your purpose, and yes, you are worthy. You are worthy to be in spaces that make you feel very uncomfortable. If people want to shame you, let me tell you, shame is like the #1 thing that the low vibrational energies will use against you. It's shame. It's to say, how wena so bua ka mdimo, wena so ya kerekeng, wena so le wena futhi. You understand? Say yes, God loves you the way that you are. In the midst of all of that, God loves you so much. Again, thank you for watching the channel. If you are not already subscribed, please do subscribe. Press the notification button so that we can talk about these things some more, because I'm not gonna stop.